With the drop of the drape, Alex Bostic's artwork is going places. The Mississippi State University art professor was commissioned by the U.S. Postal Service to do the artwork for its Edmonia Lewis commemorative Forever stamp. It's the 45th in the Black Heritage series.
I've done stamps before. I've done foreign stamps for other countries, but this is my first one for the United States, and hopefully not my last.
Lewis was the first African American and Native American sculptor to achieve international recognition. Bostic says it was an honor to pay homage to her work.
To do another artist, you know, that wasn't recognized in her time, but I got to see some of her work, and you would swear Michelangelo did. I mean, that's how good she was.
Creating artwork for a postage stamp has special significance for Bostic. He says attending the unveiling of the stamp was truly a full circle moment for him.
During the ceremony, I wore my mother's post office sweater because my mother worked for the post office for over 30 years, and that paid for me to be an artist and go to school and all that stuff. So I paid homage to my mom, Evelyn Bostic.
He says his mother's sacrifice to help hone his talent inspires him to encourage other parents to push their children toward the arts.
I think all arts, like poetry, dancing, music, all the arts help you sort of come with a fresh mind and a fresh take on life. So it helps you with your academics, believe it or not. I think I was a really good academic student because of the art component of my life.
And now he has officially put his stamp on history.
In my field, I do a lot of artwork, but it's gone. You know, it's temporary, and this is like forever. I mean, as long as you go to the post office, you can ask for an Edmonia Lewis stamp, and they'll hand it to you. You know, and I'll be way gone while this is going on, as long as people are mailing letters.
In Starkville, Aundrea Self, WCBI News.
Dr. Gary Packwood, like most musicians, has a real passion for his craft. He's using that passion to train the next generation of music teachers.
I think there's something about the pulse of a tempo, fast, slow, medium. That we all can sort of migrate to, you know, and I think that's what brings us together. It's an unknown, you know, something that brings us together. 1, 2, 3, and.
Dr. Gary Packwood has been using music to bring people together for more than 3 decades as a professor in university music departments and in venues across the country and all over the world.
I go to South America a lot, to Brazil. So I've been to Brazil maybe 8 or 9 times conducting. So there's a teaching aspect where I'll teach students from all over Brazil for a week or so, and it'll culminate in a performance.
Packwood has been at Mississippi State for the past 11 years and is the director of choral activities in the music department. He says teaching has always been his passion.
I never wanted to be a performer.
Really?
I just didn't get all the feels that I do when I see a student achieve. Even now, after 31 years, when I see a student achieve, that's what gives me the feels.
One of his greatest joys, directing the MSU Singers, a choral group of about 50 students, and not all of them are music majors.
So it's open to any student at Mississippi State University.
So you don't have to be in the music department?
No, not at all. We have several engineering students that sing in that group, and we love having them.
Packwood says part of instructing and directing this group is helping these singers gain a deeper appreciation for different genres of music.
Whether it's in teaching them the discipline of it or accolades or whatever we have to do. So I think the best way we can show teach our students to have passion is to show them our passion.
And he shows them with every beat, every note, all in harmony.
And my students never know what to expect when they walk into a room, even after 31 years. I'm still hopefully on fire, and I think they feel that. Sing out with your voice and sing out.
Winston, Rhonda Sanders made history when she began her career with the Columbus Police Department almost 3 decades ago. She now works with the Lowndes County Sheriff's Department, where she's working daily to make an impact.
When Rhonda Sanders was sworn in 27 years ago, it didn't dawn on her that she was making history as the first black female officer for the Columbus Police Department. She says 2 city council members and the mayor at the time were the driving forces behind her joining the department.
And I became a police officer, and they were the ones that, brought it to my attention that there had never been an African-American law enforcement woman.
I'll go big, I'll go home.
She got right to work connecting with the community. Years later, she helped the department open several police substations in neighborhoods around town.
We started it just to put police officers in the community close to the public. If you needed something, you can walk over and just talk to us.
She says protecting and serving is her daily mission. The service component was instilled a long time ago by her mother and grandmother.
We didn't have much when we were young, but they would come out with these big boxes and would give on Sundays for church and always came to help people when they were sick. And I guess when I was younger, I just picked up, this is what we're supposed to do.
Those values inspired her to join forces with other community leaders to start a nonprofit. The Benefit Committee leads numerous projects in Columbus and Lowndes County that meet the needs in various communities. One project especially close to Sanders' heart, the Beds for Kids program.
So many times I went into houses where I would see kids sleeping on a pallet. And for some reason, that just really touched me. So our mission is to get as many kids, beds. The police officers go out on call. If they identify and they see a kid that's sleeping on the floor, we get them a bed.
It's the kind of service she wants to be remembered for long after she has retired her badge.
And I'm a servant. And I love law enforcement. And I just love to help people.
And I personally just love her. Rhonda says Ashley Furniture partners with the Benefit Committee for the Beds for Kids program. So far, they've donated more than 500 new beds to children in Columbus and Lowndes County. Winston, tonight we're going to meet a woman from Columbus who took a job at a fast food restaurant 22 years ago. It was one of 3 jobs, in fact, that she had at the time. Well, that entry-level position has turned into a successful career, and today she's making history and blazing a trail.
When Cleopatra Pearson started at McDonald's as a part-time dishwasher in 2000, she never dreamed she'd be loving it 22 years later. But she's come a long way from washing dishes. This year, she was named Vice President of Operations for O'Farrell Management Group, which owns 26 McDonald's restaurants in 3 states. She's the first African-American female to hold the title. But to get there, she had to push past fear, and it started with getting into management.
I had a few people on the team that was just brought it to my attention. I turned it down a couple of times, but they say, well, if you're here, you may as well do it. I became a shift manager the next year. I became a first assistant. The next year, I moved up to a store manager.
Along the way, her confidence in her abilities grew.
It's always going to be scary of the unknown, but you have to take that step and don't be afraid to fail. I'm glad I had people around me to help support and say, hey, Cleo, you can do it.
One of those people is Mark O'Farrell, CEO of O'Farrell Management Group.
Silent leadership is what we saw in Cleo, and what I saw in Cleo. Silent strength and leadership, and that ability to lead by example.
Being that I've been in every role, starting from a crew, shift manager, store manager, director of operations, I can relate to everybody.
These days, she spends time training in the restaurants and making sure her staff has access to continuing education so maybe they can follow in her footsteps.
Ensuring that they have the knowledge, the tools. We have Hamburger University. We're ensuring people get to go to class. It is my job to ensure that they have the support.
O'Farrell sees the impact she's making.
What she's been able to do and the imprint that she provides and and lays on these young African American young ladies who aspire to be successful is more than the instant microwave success they seem to consume on social media, Instagram and TikTok. And they see that, and truly they believe that it can happen because they see her and interact with her every day.
And O'Farrell tells us that Pearson has helped the company grow from 7 to 26 McDonald's restaurants in 9 short years.